Good morning, and welcome to DHES TV News. Happy Black History Month. This is A Week, Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. And I am Mr. Thompson with today's announcements. Teachers, please read your staff announcements. Pandas, are you prompt and present? Are you ready for the attendance challenge? Panda family, it's February. Our theme for the month of February is kindness. Join us as we celebrate Black History Month. Please welcome Mario Barnes as he leads us through the Pledge of Allegiance and the District Heights Panda Pledge. And Get Fit as Mr. Jeffries leads us through the Get Fit Minute. DHES Panda family, it's February. Have you been participating in the February Attendance Challenge? Every day we will shout out the classes with the highest attendance percentage in each grade. If you want your class to be shouted out on the morning announcements, make sure you are prompt and present every day. And now it's time for today's shout-outs. Pre-K and kindergarten, Miss Long's and Miss Bacani's class. First grade, Miss Anderson's class. Second grade, Miss Jones's class. Third grade, Miss Jordan's class. Fourth grade, Miss Harris's class. And fifth grade, Miss Clee's class. Congratulations to the winners. Keep showing up so we can shout you out.
Hey, District Heights. This is your attendance team coming with the highest attendance of the week.
The highest attendance percentages for this week is Miss Bacani's class, Miss Anderson's class, Miss Jones' class, Miss Jordan's class, Miss Harris' class, and last but not least, Miss Clee's class. The superstars of this week for the primary is Miss Bacani's class, and for intermediate, Miss Clee's class.
And let's not forget that attendance matters.
Live humble, humble yourself to building wrong. Live humble yourself to building wrong. The building wrong, the Indian song, the Lord done brought our hearts and tongue. I wonder why the Satan keep a grumbling down. He chained in hell where he can't get out. The Lord come along.
Langston Hughes is considered a great author because he spoke to, for, and about Black people in America.
Poet, novelist, and playwright, Langston Hughes was the leading voice of the Harlem Renaissance.
America was changing during the time that Langston Hughes was so popular. Black consciousness was becoming more and more public, more prominent. I think that Langston Hughes was important because he was one of the early figures to show the dignity and the beauty of ordinary Black life.
He was one of the most visible of the younger Black poets, a new generation that described themselves as the new Negro. They covered new topics, took on new poetic forms, and sought a wider audience, and Langston Hughes was at the forefront of that.
James Mercer Langston Hughes was born in Joplin, Missouri on February 1st, 1902.
He wrote a lot about being lonely when he was young, and I think that was a tremendous part of the product of moving around so much.
After graduating high school, Hughes published his first and most famous poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers.
It is the first poem that celebrates Africa and dignifies the image of Africa in American literature.
The Negro Speaks of Rivers was published in a popular Black journal, and so he was really rather widely read from the beginning. His poetry and his prose actually had access to everyday people.
While studying at Columbia University, Hughes discovered the Harlem art scene, spending hours in jazz and blues clubs, weaving the rhythms of music into his work.
Jazz and blues were great influences on Langston Hughes. He sought to capture the energy and vitality of the music in his poetry.
He was very familiar with the Harlem nightlife. He knew the musicians, and later in his life he would even collaborate with some of the key figures at that time, such as Duke Ellington.
Hughes was a prolific writer and one of the first African-American authors who could support himself through his writing.
Langston Hughes wrote plays. He edited anthologies of poets of African descent across the diaspora. He wrote short stories. One of his most famous series of short stories centers around Jessie B. Simple. These are tales told by a resident of Harlem to an aspiring writer who's a stand-in for Langston Hughes.
He was one of the more widely published of the young poets of the period. He was also among the better connected. He really worked hard to promote the careers of other young writers in Harlem and also throughout the rest of his life. That's also one of his big legacies.
Langston Hughes died of cancer on May 22, 1967. His Harlem residence was given landmark status, a fitting tribute for a legendary writer.
His influence, his ambition as a creative writer, his success, his accessibility. He wrote for the average person. He was not writing for college classrooms. He was not writing for the elite. All of those things, I think, require that we recognize and acknowledge him as a great American literary voice of the 20th century.
Song, the Lord done brought our hearts in tune. I wonder what he said and keep a grumbling down.
And now it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand, place your right hand over your heart, and follow along as Namario Barn leads us through the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and follow along as Namario leads us through the District Heights Panda Pledge.
To the District Heights, I pledge to do my best. I will be prepared. I will be respectful. I will show integrity. I will be determined to excel. Today at District Heights, I will be great.
And now it's time for the Get Fit Minute with Mr. Jeffries. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to DHES TV News. It's a good day to have a good day, so have a good day. Bye-bye now.